Yourself and fire away.
Thank you, Harry. Great job. Good evening, everybody. Good evening, Denise. Good to see you again. I was also there at midnight for the first couple of hours, but then I went off and did some other stuff. I came back again. Good to see you still here. I also saw Kent and Francesca and lots of others. So good to be back. I'm in Torino in Italy, the beautiful Alps around us. I'm a member of the Radiant Rhetoric Club. I was one of the founders of the Radiant Rhetoric Club. We started to think about the club about 10 years ago, although it took a couple of years to charter. We're still going strong. I've also founded other clubs around Italy. I'm a DTM. I was one of the area governors when it was area governors in Italy. I've been a Toastmaster for about 15 years. I started in Brussels and then moved to Florence. And so Amber, I know Florence very well. And I'm now in Turin. So I've done, lots of other stuff like district conference last year, division conferences, and a few officer trainings in the last 15 years as well. So what are we going to do today? Let me share my screen and then we can start talking. I'm so glad that our friend Marika was using Mentimeter, because I'm going to use Mentimeter as well. So you've all had some chance to understand what it is. If you wish to join, here is the QR code, or you can go back to menti.com and put in the number 6346141, and we'll have lots of fun. When everybody is online, then I'll check it out. So it gives me a chance to understand what's going on with my people. Where are my people? I've got 3 thumbs up, which is good. Yeah, when you get in, click the thumbs up. It should work on your mobile phone as well. As well as the computer. And I forgot to copy the link and put it in the chat. Sorry about that. I can't remember if I can find it out and move it into the chat. Anyway, hopefully you can find the QR code. I've got 8 people playing along so far, which is great. And my first question. So we're talking about membership retention, leadership for club success. We're all about club success. We're all about leadership. How can we maintain our membership base in order that we can actually learn? We cannot learn without members. We can do a public speaking course. We can speak. But if we're just speaking on our own, we don't get feedback. We don't get that sense of nervousness in our hearts when we see people looking at us. So members are vitally important, and getting a number of members so that we get a variety of feedback is also really, really important. So my first question is, why are you here? What would make this, the next hour and a half, 2 hours, a great time for you? Now, I know some of you have been here all day, Denise, and so many of you have seen lots of things. So I don't want to repeat too much. But what is going to make this a great hour and a half for you? I've got a PowerPoint presentation prepared. But one of the fundamentals of public speaking is it's not about me and my presentation. It's about the audience. What can I do for you? What's in it for you? Now, if there's nothing in it for you, we might as well go and have that coffee. Yeah. So, or if you want to talk about something else other than membership retention, let's do that. Yeah, we've put it on the agenda. This is going to be about membership retention. Yes, membership retention is important. But if you're all up to here with membership retention, why do it? Are you just here for the points? Denise, you've had enough. I'm sure you've got 5 points already. Okay, I'm going to press H and see if people have come up to see me. Oh, thank you. That was the first response. I don't know who did it. It's all anonymous, but thank you anyway. Thank you. Thank you. To learn new insights and ideas. Okay, to learn new things, learn and have fun. We want to have fun. That's good. Comments from like-minded people with different experiences. Very important. Learn insights. 1 or 2 take-home tips to take back to my club. Insights into membership retention and learn best practice for keeping your members. Okay, so we do want to do membership retention. That's good. And it would be okay if we didn't want to do it. We could do something else as well. And this is the last session for today. Is there anything else that you'd like to discuss? I mean, we could be anything. It could be like easy speak, pathways. What else do you need that you haven't done today? You haven't done in any other officer training? We have experts in the room. We have experience. Somebody somewhere may know something. So just put it down on the response, and maybe we can find some time at the end, or maybe we can address it as we're talking about membership retention, because membership retention covers so many things. More than retention, how to keep them inspired and committed to growing more. Okay, excellent. Yeah. So we'll it's a key part of retention. Yeah. Inspiration. How to lead leaders. Do we have another 24 hours? How to lead leaders. Is cricket an option? I'm not so hot about cricket these days. I used to play when I was a kid.
You've been out of the UK for too long, Keith.
Yeah, I've been here for 21 years now, Harry. And being English, sometimes we're good and sometimes we're really not very good.
Yeah, there's been a bit of a dip, hasn't there?
I think we won the World Championships recently by hook or crook. Well, a couple of years ago. It's kind of
Last year, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to talk about inspiration as well. We're talking about leading leaders. Some fun TMI activities. Okay. Creative club meetings. We can do that. That's a good idea. And reactivating inactive members. Yeah, that's going to be part of it. Yeah. Reactivate. Okay. Why do we try and get new members when we've got some old members that could come back? Okay. If there is anything else during the presentation, we have the chat within Zoom, and we also have a chat or question and answer within Menti as well. So if you have any questions, you can do that. I think I've got another question so personally, why did you join Toastmasters? Personally, why did you join Toastmasters? What was your key reason? Or maybe there are several reasons. You can have, you can respond as many times as you like. Curiosity, interesting. Curiosity killed the cat. Remember that was a band when we were young, Harry? Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you remember those? Public speaking, okay. Because we're talking about retention. We need to understand why people arrive in the first place. And we're all different. Yeah, that's one of the beauties of the world. Diversity. We have diversity in terms of language, in religion and culture, and diversity in terms of why Why do we come to Toastmasters? Networking in a new city. Joined by force. Interesting. Something, yeah, that it's always happens. We try that in Italy. You know, we put guns to your head. You got to join Toastmasters. Maybe it was a partner or something. Yeah, great guys and girls, obviously. Yeah, ability to play with words. It's a wonderful way of getting into poetry and creativity as well. Community building. It's a great way of having a community. I was told by the boss. Feedback. It's always useful. Yep. Chance to get to know interesting people. Initially joined for better speaking and stayed because of getting to know more in many issues together with great people. This kind of predicts a little bit the next question, because apart from why did you join, there's also why do you stay? Why are you still in Toastmasters? In fact, I joined for networking. One of the responses was networking in a new city. I was in Brussels. I worked for myself at home, and I joined Brussels Toastmasters to meet some people, socialize, and maybe do a bit of business networking. And here I am 15 years later. I'm still here. Yeah. And so sometimes the why we join is different from why we stay. I stay because I get so much value out of it. I still love the socializing. I still love networking. But it's also a great place to practice and experiment with training. I work in training as well, so public speaking is part of it. At the time I joined Toastmasters, I didn't have a problem with confidence in training. But competence, I soon learned how little I knew, or how much more there was to learn, let's say. So inspirational stories, that's another great reason to stay in Toastmasters. Helping others grow. It's such an important part of our mental health, helping other people grow, being part of a community. Yeah. Maybe we can use that as publicity, right? Who knows? Yeah. It's a way to help people keep retention. Yeah. Reach more people with my message. Yeah. It's fun. Giving back, again, helping others grow, learning and development opportunities. The people I've met, the fun we have. Yep. Looking forward to dancing the tarantella in Pisa, as well as the whirling in Istanbul. I won't do it now, otherwise I'll probably fall over. Yeah. Okay, to continue learning and growing. Yep. Learning something new every day. Endless things to learn in Toastmasters. Yeah. One of the past presidents, I think, said if you get everything out of Toastmasters that there is to get out of Toastmasters, you will never get out of Toastmasters. And that's very, very poetic and very thoughtful. Great. So we've got challenges, reaching people, learning, fun environments. There's lots of reasons for staying. So why do people leave? Why is it that people leave? Well, let's find out which one is most important, first of all. Yeah. So in your Menti, I don't know if you did this with Marika, you have 100 different points. You can put them on any of these 7 aspects. Yeah. So what is the most important for you? So if you think everything is public speaking, you could actually put 100 on public speaking. Yeah. On confidence in public speaking. I put confidence and competence differently. Yeah. So which one's important for you? Improving leadership, language skills. One of the reasons why I do Toastmasters with Toastmasters Torino is to practice my Italian, because most of the time I work in English. So I need a place also to learn Italian. Socializing, networking, or some kind of motivational learning. So you've got 100 points to spread between all of them. And I just noticed, I don't know when people have all completed the stuff. So which one's this? Okay, so if you can click on the thumbs up button when you've finished, then I will know how many people have completed analyzing their 100. Yeah, so it's weighting. Which one is the most important in your opinion? Okay, let's have a look at the answers. So these are going to be an aggregate of everything that everyone's done. Let's get into the right one. Okay. Quite balanced, eh? So we've got competence in public speaking as being probably one of the most important. And as people add some other numbers, then it's going to change, but that's okay. Networking. It's strange because we don't usually advertise networking in Toastmasters. In fact, sometimes it's almost discouraged, right? You know, oh no, we shouldn't be doing business networking. So I'm kind of thinking networking as in more professional networking. But it's true. A lot of people do Toastmasters for opportunities, improving leadership skills, socializing, confidence in public speaking. Interesting. Competence is higher than confidence. It's just moved up a little bit. Motivation strategies, and only 6% doing language training. Okay. Certainly in Italy, a lot of the clubs are actually in Italian. So maybe that makes sense. Okay. So there are different reasons. This reflects the fact that, you know, there are different reasons, there are different strengths for having Toastmasters in our portfolio. So that was for you. What do you think about your members? Are your members any different from you, or are they the same? So this question is about your members, the people in your club, your colleagues. Are they the same as you, or are they different? And then we'll go back and forwards and see if there is any difference between these two. So we have quite a few results in. Let's open up the results. So I hid the results at the beginning because that might have influenced some of the others. So okay, so here we have competence in public speaking. Confidence is up to second place. Yeah. Leadership skills in third. Language skills are very important in a lot of areas. Socializing, good. Networking is good as well. Okay, let's see if we can see those two side by side or difference. So here we had competence in public speaking. Many of us are looking more for networking. and less in confidence, but generally, yeah, networking a little bit lower. Confidence and competence in public speaking is important. Yeah, so if that's the reason why people join, or is most important for our members, well, that's probably something that we need to think about in terms of keeping our attention. Yeah, keeping that confidence and competence in public speaking going within our club. So I had a pre-prepared list. Did I miss anything? Is there some other things that people maybe are thinking about in terms of why people would join and stay at Toastmasters? What is important about Toastmasters? Sense of belonging. Yeah, sense of belonging. Okay, that's a good one. Yeah. Yeah, it's strange. After COVID, we're actually kind of appreciating a lot of kind of human contact and being together with people. Yeah. Feeling useful. Yeah. Okay. A career. Yeah. Fun and energizing. Okay. Cool. International networking. That's useful. Yeah. Challenge is not just a single club. Yeah. But part of a network of clubs. Yeah. Many of our members don't appreciate that so much. And maybe that's something that we can do a lot more. Yeah. Yeah, sometimes there are specific reasons for joining. They have to speak at a family wedding or their own wedding even. Expanding horizons, there's always so much more to learn. Public image. Yeah, we can also get feedback on other aspects of ourselves, our leadership and interpersonal aspects. And comfort as well, yeah. Just missed one. Learned creating clubs and communities. Yeah, that was another reason why I stay in Toastmasters. It's almost about the entrepreneurial spirit, you know, about starting new clubs. If you can start a new club, then you can start a new business as well. And so long term, thinking about your career, it's important. It's very useful to be part of our Toastmasters environment. Yeah. Okay. Again, appreciate all of your responses. Here's a question. We got a lot of experience in the room. Maybe some people are less experienced. I don't know everybody. Has anybody ever left a Toastmasters club? Oh, I thought I hid all the answers for here, but we've got some yeses and some nos going up. I see Macaulay Culkin turning and running away. Have you ever left a Toastmasters club? Ah, we've got a lot of experience in the room. That looks good. 9 out of 11 of us have actually left a Toastmasters club. So we know a lot about retention, or maybe not. Okay, excellent. So I'm not the only one, because I've also left a couple of clubs. So that means this question is useful. I was worried. It's like, is anybody going to have left a Toastmasters club? Why did you leave the Toastmasters club? Working together alone. Some responses already. Again, I'm hiding some of the responses until some people had a chance to write so that they don't get influenced too much by the others. Okay. I never left. Okay. Bossing. Interesting. Some toxic members. Now we're getting into the nitty-gritty of keeping people in the club. How can we keep membership retention? Toxic members, lack of organization. So I'm gonna write these down because I don't know how to get back to these all the time, or maybe there's going to be different ways. Lack of organization. Bossing. No fun. Relocation. It didn't need me. Interesting. Not right for me. Emigrated. Time. Dictatorship. Oh, there's a lot of good language here. Yeah? I'm constructive. All the things we said about Toastmasters being, constructive and fun. Here it is. Sometimes it's not always like that. Money. Too many. Yeah. Not friendly. Curbing. No local support. Okay. All finished. Okay. So I've made a list, and I've made a list with 2 columns. And I've done 2 columns on purpose because some of these things as a club we can control, and some of these things we can't control. Yeah. So for example, to money, we can't necessarily control whether our members have money or not, although potentially we could do something to assist them. Yeah. No time. It's very difficult to control that. Too many clubs. I'll put my hand up. I also was once a member of 3 clubs. Now it's down to 2. So that's an issue. Yeah. And then there are lots of things that we can control, or rather we can potentially influence. Bossing, toxic members, relocation we can't do. That's another reason why I've left. Didn't need me anymore. Interesting. Emigrated. Another reason why I left. So here are my reasons. Unfortunately, this is a bit of a bit slow, but from Brussels and capital Toastmasters clubs in Brussels, I moved to Italy, and that was long before COVID. So there were no online hybrid versions. So I had to do something different. And in fact, I started the Firenze Toastmasters Club. Then the Firenze Toastmasters Club, I left because I moved to Turin. Again, nothing really that the club could have done to keep me. The Netizens, I was a founder member, a charter member of the Netizens, first online Toastmasters Club, even before COVID came along. And my wife started nagging me, like, every Sunday you have to go online. And so I decided that wasn't going to be part of my lifestyle. And so, again, nothing really that the Toastmaster Club could have done. Yeah, potentially move it to another night, but would it really have changed anything? And then the club has to be the club and not necessarily for me. If everybody else is good on Sunday, there's no point in moving it to Monday. I left Radiant Rhetoric. Now you can see Radiant Rhetoric behind me. I'm back, but there was one time when my family and my kids were smaller. I had more aspects to do at home, so I cut down from one to just being part of Toastmasters Torino. And more recently, I've reduced from 3 to 2 clubs and Eloquentis, the advanced club, where Francesca and Margherita are also members. Great people. It was a great time. It was difficult to think which club I wasn't going to join. I kind of also wanted advanced and not experimental. I was trying to think, okay, what is there something in here that maybe the club could have done? Maybe if it would have been a little bit more advanced rather than experimental, a slight difference in style. But again, we need to think about the club as a whole and not necessarily as a single member. So, you know, if in this example, if we'd done what I would have preferred, then maybe 5 other people would have left because they wanted to do something different. So that would have been worse in terms of retention. Yeah. And I will be back on the 31st of January. What's happening on the 31st of January, Francesca? A humorous workshop. It's going to be in Italian, isn't it? Okay. I was going to try and do some publicity, but it's in Italian, so never mind. So what I'm trying to get to here is, well, there are some things that we can control and some things we can't control. And as our friend Winifred Kreinu-Wigal said, give us the serenity to accept what cannot be changed, the courage to change what can be changed, and the wisdom to know one from the other. Yeah, I saw a conversation on WhatsApp the other day about, oh, you know, membership retention is a big problem. Like, is it a problem? You know, yeah, I emigrated. I have friends who've got married and had other responsibilities, moving, new jobs, babies. There are lots of reasons why members leave. So we need to understand what we can control or what we can influence and what we can't influence. So let's not beat ourselves up on all of that. So we've already got a lot of reasons why members leave clubs. I think I'm going to miss this one because I think we've kind of got a lot. You know, we've got toxic members, lack of organization. Well, if you have anything else that you haven't mentioned, maybe you have some other friends, yeah, that have left for different reasons. I have a blue circle. I didn't realize I had a blue circle. How did I get my blue circle? It's an eye. Do you ever get this kind of thing when you're presenting and something really unexpected comes up? That's great. I never knew how an eye came up. Anyway, there we go. Maybe it's just a bit of a time delay. Yeah, because this is a word graph. I forgot this was a word graph. That's what it is. So all the words kind of come in and make a little different pattern. Winning the lottery. Yeah, I'd be very happy if to leave Toastmasters. I probably would stay in Toastmasters even if I did win the lottery. I think it's fun. You still need friends, right? I mean, you still need that environment being adding value to people. Yeah. Conflicts, disorganization, toxic members, conflicts, leaving the country. Yeah, all reasons why some people may leave. Okay. So the question is, there we go. I think maybe my Turin is a bit far away in terms of the internet. No, we're getting lots of things. Micromanage, too structured, interesting. Okay. Doing a course on a meeting date. Yeah. I've started some courses recently, but it's not on Toastmasters night, so that's okay. Work conflicts. Yep. Overwhelmed, excluded, conflicts, again, gaslighting, yeah, disorganization, held back, toxic members, health, death. leaving the country, but they need it. Yeah. Some people pressured to leave. Some way of dealing with toxic members. Okay, I will distribute these at a later note. Okay. I can't remember what my next survey is. Okay, here's the Toastmasters International several years ago did a survey on why some of our members actually join. I used a very similar structure in my questions. Building confidence for public speaking, so that's confidence, 30%. Become a more effective speaker, that would be competence. They had 30%. Improving presentation skills, I kind of put that as competence. Improving leadership skills is different. Professional goals, I'm not sure what that would be different from confidence speaking or leadership goals. Fluency is there, social connections and networking, motivation strategies. Yeah. So lots of reasons. Okay. I was going to come back to this later. Let me come back to this later. Okay. Great. What we need now is some tools. Let me stop my sharing. See if you're still all awake. Now, obviously, you're all still awake because lots of people have been typing. I can see James smiling. That's good. Yeah, who has Kent smiling as well. How are we doing so far? Are we going okay? Yeah, okay. Aline, welcome as well. I didn't see you earlier. You on the train? Very good. Denise has gone to sleep, obviously. Lights are off there.
Denise is not going to go to sleep. I can absolutely assure you she's going to be here right until the bitter
She's
end.
here, she's here. She's putting her daughter to sleep.
She's putting us all to shame, Keith.
She has the cat cam on.
And Goka, welcome. Have you just joined, Goka? Because I haven't been seeing, I've been sharing my screen, so all the little faces I haven't seen very
My
much.
name is Gotha, and I just...
Gotha, excuse me.
Gotha.
Yeah.
Hello, Aline. I just joined you out of curiosity. What is it? I didn't understand really properly what I
Okay, that's
24 hours.
That's a great question. Yeah, so we are Toastmasters doing officer training. We're doing 24 hours because I'm not quite sure why. Maybe Elena can help us out with that. So we've had various training sessions during the day. This is pretty much the last session, although we're finishing off at in another hour. And we're talking about membership retention. So we're talking about understanding why people become members of Toastmasters and why they don't renew, different aspects of why they don't renew. And then we're going to be starting to talk about what we can do to stop them leaving, to encourage them to remain, encourage them to be part of our community, and so that we can learn from them as well. Yeah. And where are you from, Gotha?
Thank you for explanation. I am calling from Zurich.
From Zurich. Okay, yeah. Excellent. And do you have a role in the committee?
No, not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
Well, I was once a speaker.
Are you a member of Toastmasters, or did you just see it on? Okay.
Just Bern new member from December.
Very good. It's always good to have new members. Great. And Alina as well, I didn't see you before the presentation. Did you see, can you speak on the train?
Yes, but it's a bit loud because many people are going to Davos, so. Okay. Yes, but I'm not sure if you remember me because I'm also from Zurich and I'm now area director in E1.
Ah, okay. Very good. Welcome. So I won't ask you to say too much on the train. Maybe we can do something later. Okay. Okay, so we need some exercises to get all of you talking. So hopefully, Aline, you can talk at some point. Oh, I've got some other quick pages to show you. Again, this is part of the 2020 research that Toastmasters did on membership goals. Many were talking about becoming an effective speaker, building confidence, communicating effectively, networking, being a great presenter, increasing fluency, as well as leadership skills and motivational strategies. The research also looks at, how important the goal is. If there is a really important goal, then people tend to remain in Toastmasters. But if it's just, well, there's no real goal, then, people come, they have some fun, and then they go somewhere else, which is kind of part of the recruitment aspect. If we recruit people that don't have strong goals, then that is often going to result in people leaving quite quickly. Yeah. In my clubs, I always tell them, our guests, we are the worst salespeople ever. Because we encourage people to come back as often as possible before they become a member. Because the last thing I want, and I've had it many times in 15 years, some people come along and they say, I want to become a member. They pay the money and we never see them again. It's not good for them and it's not good for Toastmasters. Yeah, we get some money, but I prefer to have somebody giving me feedback and no money than giving me money and no feedback. It doesn't work. So make sure that people actually really want to become a member. Obviously, it depends on the state of your club. Having a healthy club, it's easier to say that. But if you haven't got a healthy club, then maybe we want to understand why people are not coming. Okay, so understanding the goals are important. And the member goals were the most to support, becoming an effective speaker, communicating efficiently. Yeah, so that's what Okay, let me stop that. No. Just a quick reminder about the club mission. What is Toastmasters about? Every Toastmasters club has this club mission. We provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered. So members need to feel good. They need to feel confident. So even ourselves, most of us are club leaders. At some point, we've had reasons for leaving: no fun, dictators, unconstructive, not friendly, no local support, lack of organization, toxic members. Our club mission, the mission of every club in the world, is about creating a positive environment in which we are empowered. Positive environment, empowered. It's not about public speaking. It's about positive environment and being empowered. It's creating that place where we can express ourselves. To develop communication, leadership skills, resulting in great self-confidence and personal growth. But we need to create that environment. And so I'm very happy that toxic people has come up, because I've seen a few Toastmaster magazine articles, and they almost never mention about toxic people. In my experience, it's been one of the key aspects of people leaving clubs and of club sickness, and has even resulted in clubs closing. Firenze Toastmasters, a club that I founded, my first club that I founded, and I held it very close to my heart, closed down a couple of years ago because we had a toxic member and the club split up. Toastmasters Torino also had a toxic member and nearly split up 10 years ago, which resulted in Radiant Rhetoric being formed. And I even was part of Netizens. Now, Netizens was the first, as I mentioned, the first online Toastmasters group in the world. There were people there with 5 DTMs. I mean, in a group of like 20 people, there were like 40 DTMs in total. It was crazy. And we split up. Even DTMs, even experienced Toastmasters can create an environment where it's not safe and learning. So, but we, the good people, of course, we are the good people, right? There's no toxic people here. So we need to defend our club mission. We need to make sure that if this is followed, then the club will be strong and the club will be healthy. So I really encourage you. In fact, after a bad experience about a year ago, I asked both of my clubs, Radiant and Toastmasters Turin, to read this at the beginning of every Toastmaster meeting, to remind everybody why we're here, to create a positive and supportive learning experience. Because if we don't have that, members will leave. Unfortunately, we did have some members leave last year. And we managed to encourage somebody else not to come back. So sometimes that we need to happen. Now, I am going to stop my share for a second because I need to find a file.
I've made you a co-host, Keith, so you can do your breakout rooms.
Okay, excellent. Yeah, I've got too many files open. I was going to share, let me share this for a second in the chat. And how do I share that? I know I need to find my file holder. There we go. Where's my chat gone? Oh, I had a separate window for the chat. It was all going all nicely. There we go. That's it. The first, before we actually go into breakout rooms, a useful tool, in fact, I'll share it on the screen as well, and then we can talk about it. A useful tool that I've only recently discovered is this module that is number 403. If you look on Toastmasters website, if you're ever looking for a document, if you know the document number, you can find it a lot easier. If you look at something like member, there's like 100 different documents. If you look at 403, member interest survey, that's an interesting thing. We're in January, right? We're talking about New Year's resolutions. Find the club member, send this to your club members, list 2 goals you wish to accomplish as a Toastmaster. Yeah, so maybe your VP education or maybe a VP membership could coordinate this, because the VP education has usually got lots of things going on. Yeah. 2 objectives that you wish to accomplish in the next few months. What are you interested in? High interest, some interest, no interest. If we don't understand our members, what they're interested in, we can't provide that. So membership retention is all about understanding what they want to do. Yeah, club involvement, understanding whether they want to be a mentor outside of the club, within the district. And so this, within the district, it can start a conversation with some new members, What is a judge at a speech contest? Yeah, some of our new members, they don't know about speech contests. It may stimulate somebody to do something different. Yeah. And it's also got this club quality characteristics, which is a mini moments of truth. So now in January might be a good time to do that. So I encourage you to send this to your members, understand what their needs are. It might help you understand what are the good things that we need to do in terms of membership retention. Okay. Now, the other thing that I wanted to put into the the breakout room is. Oh, that's got a page on there. Okay, this is the one. There we go. And so let me share also the workbook, which I think I have. No, that's the member interest of it. I can close it down now. And what happened to my workbook? This is my workbook, right? Okay. Move this over here. Oh, there it is. No, that's the volume. There we go. Okay, this not quite such a memorable name as 403, but 9SKSNC is about membership retention. This is a little workbook which goes through. I've changed a little bit because, you know, when you're doing a presentation, you always need to make it yours, right? So, but this is about member engagement and retention. We have the goals here. And so, I want to, no, I want to change this. Well, we've got 20 minutes. Okay. Let's put you into no, because based on our survey, I've decided to change my mind. Excuse me a second, I'm just getting interrupted by my daughter. Okay. Sorry. Once upon a time, the kids stopped me going to Toastmasters. Now they come into Toastmasters. It's great having Toastmasters at home. You get interrupted. I'll be the dog next. Anyway, where was I? Is it just me or is the workbook blank? Thank you, Amber, for giving me that feedback. Is it just Amber? Does somebody else have the same problem?
Yes, it is blank, Kate. I have the same problem. Only graphic.
I had the same problem. I was like, Now I had a version already open, and then I shared the one from my downloads, and
I see the document like this, Kit.
yeah. Oh, you see more than me now, but that's a little bit better.
I am seeing like Francesca also. I'm seeing all these things, but the right side of the page has words.
Okay. Well, let's do this. Let's split you up into two groups, into breakout rooms. And what I like to do is, how can we address toxic people? Yeah, because one of the key aspects that in my experience is toxic people really cause a problem within the club. Yeah, I mean, people getting new jobs and, you know, not having time, there's very little that we can do about that. Yeah, so toxic people are, in my experience, a problem. And toxic committees, I think those were kind of two aspects. So we've got Harry, are you going to be doing the breakout as well, or are you
No, I'll stay here to
staying? Yeah. Margarita, are you doing breakout, or you'll pop in and out?
Whatever serves you best.
Okay, So if we got 16 people, probably minus 4 who might be popping in and out, we'll have 6 people. Harry, could you do that for me? Could you just allocate 2 rooms of 6 people?
I
And
can
then
do that.
it'll save me
Or
doing
you can do it. You've got the rights to do it now.
Yeah, I probably could. And then I need to scratch my head and figure out how I can do it. So if I can get you to do it, and then I'll do the explaining bit about what I want to do. So there's going to be 2 groups. There's going to be breakout group 1 and breakout group 2. And in the top of the Zoom meeting, it will say somewhere it will be your breakout room 1 or breakout room 2. So
Okay.
breakout room 1. What can you do? Oh, I'm just getting a thumbs up somewhere. What can you do about a toxic person in your club? How would
You don't want to be in the room. Sorry, Keith.
Yeah,
Okay. Tell me when you're ready for me to move them, okay?
yeah. So breakout room 1 will be, what are you going to do with a toxic person in your club? How do you approach them, either to resolve the problem and make them less toxic, or to remove them from the club completely? Is that something that you would do? Yeah.
You want to put that into the chat for them as well?
I can do that. Yeah. Will they see the chat when they
Yes.
just close
Yeah.
when they go into the breakout room?
Yeah.
Yeah. What can you do about a toxic person? Okay.
I can see big yawns coming up all over the place.
Hopefully it's not because of me, but
Nope.
out or resolve. Yeah, so that's for group 1 and group 2. What can you do about a toxic ex-con? Toxic ex-con. What can you do? Because that's based on the feedback that I've received tonight. You know, we have dictators, unconstructive environments, not friendly, no fun, bossing dictators. Sounds a lot like so maybe it's part of the toxic people, or maybe it's part of the toxic ex-com. So what can you do? Yeah, so group 2, the ex-com, group 1, just an individual person. Yeah, and let's give you 15 minutes. So we'll see you at 22:30 in Italy. And I saw a hand raised by Yanti.
Yeah. Sorry, I don't understand the word XCOM. What does that mean?
Excellent. Thank you. Excellent. The executive committee. So the committee
Oh,
that
okay.
is.
Thanks.
Great. Thank you, Shanti. Yeah, I didn't explain it. The executive committee. So if there's a group of people, so group 1 is for if there's a single person causing a problem. Group 2, if there's actually a group of people, how can you address that? Or do you address it? Do you just leave? Yeah. Any other questions on the assignment? Remember, so you got 15 minutes. Choose somebody to debrief for about 1 or 2 minutes when we come back. Yeah,
Okay.
that should be the first thing, so that they can write some notes so they're prepared to do the debrief. Yeah.
Right, I'm ready to go.
Okay, thank you, Harry. See you at past. Okay, welcome back. I'm guessing that's everybody. Is that right, Harry? Yeah.
It looks like everybody's out, and yep, absolutely, yeah. Okay.
Okay, great. So welcome back. And who wants to go first? We had room 1 talking about a toxic individual, group 2 talking about a toxic team. Who was from the toxic individual group? I can't remember who was in the groups now.
I can maybe help
Yeah,
you.
it was Eileen, Francesca,
That's
Tarek,
right. Room
Yanti,
1 was Aline, Francesca,
Maria, and Elena.
Yanti,
Yes.
Maria, and
Can I
Elena.
ask Maria or Yanti to say?
Aline from the train. She can do it as well. So you share a lesson in the train, and maybe some new members come.
Oh, you can do it. You summarize very well. Yeah.
You just want to tell somebody
Okay,
to you.
I'll do it. And
Yay.
yeah,
Thank you, Yanti.
interject. Oh, sorry. Okay, wait, I didn't see you. You can interject if I miss something. So we had sort of 4 degrees, different steps that we could take. And the first one was Tarek said he doesn't want to devote energy to a person who's toxic. And almost yeah, when you ignore them, they sort of feel outcast or they don't feel welcome, and they decide they see they don't fit, and they will hopefully decide to leave on them by themselves. And then the second was okay, if they don't leave, try to approach it, use conflict management and talk to this person and use those techniques. Tell them what behavior is disrupting your club, get their point of view, and try to resolve it that way. The third level, if that doesn't work, is remove them from the club, vote them out. And there's a process for that, to apply that process. And then we found out there's even another process where the club members left the person alone in the club. And that was a technique that was actually used. Did I leave anything out?
Oh, no, you did good. Yeah. Yeah.
Excellent. Okay. Have any of you actually tried to do any of those techniques?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
did they work? Yeah. Which one was the most effective? I mean, are they all tried and tested?
Them out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because-
those were all shared experiences from all our members. So they were all techniques applied to get rid of a toxic person or a toxic situation.
Excellent. Okay. So my advice would be act quicker, as quick as possible when you see somebody that's toxic. The quicker you act, the quicker you can identify and address it. Hopefully you can keep the member in the club and address the behavior. You know, the longer that it goes on, the more difficult it becomes to get them out, and the more damage that they can do by causing problems with other people. So really, if there is a toxic environment, try and do something. And I would say, don't stress alone. So we have a district team, you know, call out for help and say, hey, there's this situation, talk about it with people that are independent, maybe outside, and find out what you can do. Because one of the difficulties that I found having several experiences is you're almost too close, and it becomes personal, one person against another. And it's very difficult to actually separate yourself from the problem. So separating yourself from the problem is very useful. Okay, great. Thank you, Team 1. And Team 2, you had more people. So who's going to be the spokesperson for the toxic XCOM? Did you find anything different?
Well, thank you, Keith. It was actually, some of the stories were quite horrifying, because it basically involved people that were coming into Toastmasters, usually for the first time, and were being excluded for various reasons from the established core, didn't want to be embarrassed, or the committee actively discouraged people from, for example, doing pathways, because again, that would show up the previous cohort. narcissistic behavior came up quite a bit. And the way of treating that was varied. Some of it was very dignified and responsive and, dare I say, probably almost too polite. That's a personal observation. But comes a time when their behavior crosses personal values. And in order to protect your individual peace, if you cannot change, and if they will not change, then you go away. Now, the virtue of what we heard in our little group was each and every one of those people found a different club and are here today. It's not restricted to a nationality. It's not restricted to a particular club, but there are things where, I mean, there was one example given where the person did everything conceivably possible and then just said, no, I can do my role. I don't need to attend these meetings. They provided a very dignified and structured handover to the next person. But again, to use that phrase, they needed to protect their own peace because after all, Toastmasters is their hobby, it's their fun, it's their free time, it's their volunteering, and it's their priorities. And if it's not valued or appreciated, they go away. Now, the sad thing is that these clubs eventually, well, the great thing is that these clubs eventually cascade on themselves and fold. But there's no responsibility, and the individual has to do what they can do. And yes, you said that there are people outside. We had a couple of the next level up, and it's something that people are more and more aware of. But the example of the workplace bullying came in more and more. And if one boss is against you, you can handle it or you can deal with it. But if there's a cadre of bosses against you, you find better things to do with your time.
Yep.
If I've left anything out, please jump in.
Anybody else from the group? No, 2 thumbs up for Margarita. So that seems a good way. Yeah, excellent. Thank you for that. Yeah, it's so strange that in an organization that prides itself on respect and integrity, that that these things happen. But there are so many different examples of that that I've experienced. I thought I was unique, but it seems like I'm not. So yeah, and it's very difficult in my experience when there is a problem to actually keep those values of respect. I remember once when we had a problem at Toastmasters Torino, there were some people saying, okay, no, we need to get this person out, right? And they basically organized to get the person out of the club. And some of their friends said, well, that's not acting with respect. You're telling us that we got to act with respect and you're not respecting this other person. So it is difficult because we get very pulled into this emotional aspect of of them versus us, and it becomes more personal as opposed to focusing on the values. Yeah, so if we can use the values as a strong pole to hold on to strongly, that's a very good tactic. And it is difficult, and in the heat of the moment, in the emotions, it's so difficult. Amber, I saw your hand raised. Thank you for waiting.
I do not think you recognize me. My first club was Toastmasters Florence. So, but when you said before, don't stress alone, when you're surrounded, you cannot help but to stress alone. Like I did not, seeing the friendship that was between you and some of these people, I did not feel at ease to speak with you back then.
I'm sorry.
Because I didn't know.
Yeah.
It was a trap, Yep. So I prefer to silently slink away. happy to have remade your acquaintance.
Thank you, Amber.
Renewed my faith. Thank you.
Excellent. I did think that the name was familiar, but it was some time ago, I think. Anyway, we'll be back in touch.
2019.
Yeah, we tried to organize it after, but the good news is that the Toastmasters Academy Florence is still going, and it seems like a strong club. So there is that resource there as well. So yeah, it was it's a difficult situation. It was a difficult situation to resolve, and yeah, unfortunately, yeah, the club closed down. So. And I see another hand raised. Gotta, excuse me.
I just wanted to tell you, thank you very much. It was very interesting, but I got up this morning at 5:30 and I'm now like almost dead. So tired.
Denise, what have you got?
I have to go to sleep. Thank you so much.
Not a problem. Thank you for coming.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Have fun.
Okay, so let's finish a little bit more on a lighter note. What other things can we do to maintain a great empowering atmosphere, a welcoming atmosphere to keep our members and retain our members? Amber, are you responding to the question?
Yes, I am. Number one, decide that no matter what, you will be the best possible positive peer to everyone else. Keep the negativity to yourself during the meetings. Like if there's problems behind the scenes, never in front of everyone. That's so important. And be encouraging to as many people as you can, even to the ones who are being toxic to you. Don't respond to the toxicity. Bring your best you to the table anyways.
That's excellent advice. Thank you, Amber. Yeah, again, it's keeping to the values, respecting others, sticking to the positivity is it just shows it shows the contrast between positivity and negativity, and so it's very important. Yeah. Okay, what about some other kind of tactics and things that you can do or we can do to create and maintain a strong club environment? Francesca, I see your hand up.
In the ideal world, if we could have senior members, not only senior, not this kind of DTM that you mentioned before, senior members with a big heart, at least one per club, then this person with big hearts and experience, he might be helpful to help people that are really involved inside the game, that there's other way possible. Because I think that okay, now we are speaking in theory, and we are also speaking because we had the experience and we went through the experience. So now we learn the lesson. But what we do, what we can do in our clubs, I mean, maybe when because we are experienced now and we know it, we can when we feel the smoke, we can interfere and try to be a mediator. I mean, not just help people make pieces and understand the things, and also that there are different ways to do it. And so, yes, why don't go to visit other clubs? If you feel you are a senior member, just have a look around. Kit, you are a senior and a person with a big heart.
Thank you, Francesca.
Giving our availability to be a speaking person.
So we can look to other clubs, but then, you know, how does that resolve the problem at the club? Or, you know,
Anticipate. I'm speaking about
okay.
Anticipate the problem, not solve the problem.
Okay. Very good. What other strategies? Denise, yeah.
I would say we should try to instill a culture of being part of the solution instead of being nagging about the negativities and you know, trying to look from a positive angle and try to search for what could be different, even a little thing that you can change, like always, even if it doesn't work, still trying something positive and leaving out for the other party or the parties to see that there is positive intention around, like positive energy around. So the culture among the club, among the people, should be being a part of the solution. Like, even if some people come to you, if you're the leader, if some people come to you for nagging about somebody else, again, instilling the culture, you could be like, okay, so what is your alternative thoughts? Like, what did you thought of trying? Like, not only looking from one side, but coming up with possibilities or possible solutions, or at least what they can try, kind of.
Yeah. So a kind of a coaching aspect that Marika was talking about earlier, right? Yeah. Okay. And what kind of tools can we use to create this positivity? So what does a successful club do? I'm sure many of you are also in successful clubs as well as less successful clubs. What do the successful clubs do in your experience?
Maybe one thing, which is something small, and sometimes not so easy, especially with challenging people, but it's to find something good about them. Because everybody has strengths, and also challenging people can do something well. And try to building up on the strengths of everybody can help provide this positive upward spiral.
Okay, thank you, Ali. Okay, I see a quick message from James. Thank you for coming and being with us, James, as well. And okay, any other tools and tactics that we can use to create a positive? It doesn't have to be in respect of a toxic environment, but how does if you were just to go to a new club, I know, Francesca, you're starting a new club online, you know, or if you're starting a new club in person, how would you create a good club environment? Amber, you're talking about starting a club in Tuscany. What are you going to do based on your experience at Firenze Toastmasters? What are you going to do differently?
Well, practically, I am now in Toastmasters Academy Florence.
Okay.
I went there in October because I was thinking, okay, I need to bring this solution, so I have to go back to Toastmasters so I can, and it was so, like, I went there already excited, then focus on the positive. What I really loved about the format there is they let people really express themselves. Like, all the new people express themselves. It was an open day, I believe. Express themselves, feedback on how it went. And like, when you bring that feedback also, like, really bring the energy in. And I was like so excited. I was like, hey, yes, I'm starting immediately again. But like really keep the momentum up, the energy levels high. That really inspires people. Make them feel welcome. Even if you feel that that person is kind of iffy, override that by being you the one to bring in the positive, encourage them, be ready. Like they're like, maybe I'm not ready to do this. I'm like, hell yeah, you're ready to do this. Come on, get on your stage, get your feet up there, start talking. You can't make mistakes. Like really just inspire the people. I believe that's number one.
So inspire and challenge, right? Because get on the stage is about challenging, you know. I see so many people, they walk through the door and they're like, you know, yeah, I want to be Toastmasters, and you know, okay, they're obviously lacking a bit of confidence, which is this a great place. Toastmasters is a great place, and it's like, guys, time for a speech. Like, no, and sometimes it's just like, hey, you know, it's great. How can I help you do your speech? One guy I challenged to do his icebreaker. He said, "Oh no, I need like 2 weeks to do it." I'm like, "Okay, let's have a call at lunchtime." He said, "Oh, okay, we'll have a call at lunchtime." And within the lunchtime, we wrote his speech. And he was like, "Is that it?" You know, there's sometimes you think, "Oh no, you know, I've got to do a speech and it's going to take hours and hours and hours." But if you just got somebody with you, and they just ask you 2 or 3 different little questions, suddenly you can create a speech, and it makes it so much easier. Yeah. So that's one tactic. Again, as Amber said, you know, being positive, creating energy. Sometimes it's just having a quick call with them saying, okay, how can I help you write your icebreaker? Yeah, there's pathways. Yeah, but there's this computer that you don't know, and you have to figure out all the things and go advance and advance. Sometimes it's just nicer to have somebody with you. Yeah. And so, you know, I'd encourage all your clubs to make sure you've got a good mentoring aspect in place. One of the things that we do great at Toastmasters Torino, Radiant's not quite as much at the moment, it's something I'm trying to change, is the welcome. When you come to Toastmasters Torino, we have this guy, Elio, who is 76 years old, I think. He's been our sergeant at arms for about 4 or 5 years, and Elio's job is to get the wine and the little pizzette, and he just kind of makes everybody welcome. It's like, you know, a granddad or a dad that he's like, "Oh, it's Elio," you know. And so it's just like this immediate welcome. And I encourage everybody, all the other members as well, it's like, if you see somebody new in the club, go up to them, shake their hand and say welcome, and ask them how they heard about Toastmasters. That just makes them feel like, you know, the belonging. One of the belongings was was something that came up on our sheets before. You know, when people belong in the club, and not just like, okay, they go, but they actually feel like it's part of them, then they will remain. You know, even after they've achieved their goals of DTM or doing speeches or whatever, you know, they remain because it's belonging. I remember doing that with having a similar conversation with a young lady, she was about 40, about a year or so ago, 2 years ago, and now she's starting to do training. Right, so she came in and she's like, I don't know where to begin to like do a presentation. Okay, you're in the best place, because you know you can't fail. And after that conversation, she's changed jobs. She's now becoming a trainer. It's a fantastic change that's happened, again, because it's a positive environment. We challenge, but challenge gently, right? It's like, okay, yeah, you're ready for it. And when you believe in other people, that really helps. So, you know, aperitivos or some kind of social. We have social before as well as after. Yeah. So when after we finish the meeting, some of our guests come along for dinner or for pizza. And it helps them to understand that they're part of something bigger than just a class for public speaking. Make sure your VP membership calls as well. any members that aren't around, get them to call and check up, and get them to communicate with the rest of the committee as well, to say, okay, we have a problem, somebody is sick, you know, and then everybody can say, okay, hey John, I hear you're sick, hope you're feeling well. And that will help that community and belonging, yeah, simple things like that. One other thing that we haven't mentioned yet, one of the reasons where we get so much value from Toastmasters is the evaluations. Make sure you get a good general evaluator that is going to evaluate the evaluators. There are some general evaluators go, oh yeah, everything's okay, you know, and they talk about the speeches and not the evaluations. The evaluations is where people get the value. If people get poor evaluations, oh, it's great. It's like, okay, I don't need to improve. I'm great. Yeah, but how can you improve? What can you do differently? Give people advice in a very caring way. There's a great book called Radiant Rhetoric. No, not Radiant Rhetoric. That's my cover. What's that book called? No, Radical Candor. I've got it over there on the shelf. Radical Candor. If you haven't got it, have a look. Talks about kind of two dimensions in terms of an evaluation. You need to be direct. You need to tell people what's wrong, but you also need to be caring. Yeah. So you need to care for the people and say, hey, I want you to improve. I want you to be the champion. I want you to be the area champion at your speech contest, at table topics. Yeah. This is what I think you can do to make your speech even better. Yeah. So think about how you can push them up the stairs. Yeah, it's not telling them they did that wrong. So keep that wrong, that negative out of the way. How can I help you improve? Yeah. So Radical Candor by Kim Scott. Thank you, Eileen, for putting it in the chat. It's a great book. I see that I'm a minute over time.
Yes, well,
so
obviously 1 minute, Keith.
We leave with the question: what are you going to take away from our session this last hour? Raise your hand and tell me your takeaways. Denise.
Radical candor.
Radical candor. Fantastic. I love it. It's just that it was something, you know, you think, and it was the book that kind of answers the question and puts it nice and neatly. It's great, and it's very well written as well. So
James, you're about to leave us.
James, thank you. Best wishes to County Kerry, wasn't it?
That's it. Great to meet you all. Thank you so very much.
Thanks, James.
Thank you for being with us, James.
Thanks.
So Keith, thank you very, very much. Thank you for, it's a late night session. It's not as easy as the earlier ones. You've kept us all awake, which is fantastic.
I haven't been awake all day like Denise. So.
Especially people like Denise and myself who've been here for a while. Denise, even longer than I have. Much longer, in fact. So once again, thank you very, very much.